Welcome back. In this video, we'll use the promise objects returned by the Axios HTTP client library to render our web page. Instead of using callbacks, we'll use promises. Of course, they use callbacks as well, but we'll use promise-based callbacks. And in this first part of the video, um, we'll chain promises serially. So we won't gain a performance advantage over the naive callbacks approach we saw here, but at least the code will be more maintainable and we'll also handle error cases. So let's do some live coding. Okay, so as usual, the first line will just import uh, render posts from render posts. If you're not used to the ES6 syntax, that's fine. You can just assume that this function exists, and then I'll have a function called fetch and render posts. So first we'll have to fetch the posts, so I have to do Axios. Okay, so first let me assign the variables where var. You know what, in ES6 it's more fashionable to use let instead of var. So I'll say let posts, comments and users, and then axios.get. Let me get the URL from here. Axios.get posts, and then followed by so we get the response object here, and response.data contains the posts data. So we'll say posts equal to response.data, and now we will make an HTTP request to fetch the comments. So I'll have to do return axios.get comments, and then now we'll have the comments data here, and finally we'll get the users, and now that we have all the data, we can render posts with posts, comments and users as the arguments. Okay, let's hope it works. So I usually have this function called run, and I'll make it as a global function to test it on the console. And then let me import it in index.js. So I've imported this. Okay, now we just have to run the function. Okay, I have to import Axios from Axios. So if you're not familiar with Axios, that's okay. You can think of it. It provides pretty much the same interface as jQuery. So we did $.get. Instead of that, we are just doing axios.get here. Okay. Okay. So now it's time to run. Fingers crossed. So you can see that all the three requests were made, but once again they were made in series and not in parallel. If you want to see that again, yeah, you can see this waterfall model. First the post request was made, and then the comments requests was made, followed by the user request. So now, but the code does look better, doesn't it? You can read it like linearly, like in English. So you can say get posts and then get comments, then get users, and then render your stuff. So the code is linear and there's no pyramid of doom. And the icing of the on the cake is that you can also catch errors. So you can, if there is any error, you can say console.log, oh no, and do your error handling over here. And this catch, the callback to the catch function, is this a function? Okay, the catch property rather. So this function is called if any of these steps fail. So that's the advantage. You can have just one catch uh, callback. And we have barely touched the surface of using promises. We can also add error handlers to then as well. We have just added the success handlers. So these are the success handlers, but you can also have function error. So this will be your error callback, but it is optional. So this is how we use promises. Um, like serially, I mean, to make serial Ajax requests. So let me show you catch as well. Okay, just to confirm that everything works fine. Okay, now I'll switch off the internet. But so let me start this. Oh no, my internet is too fast. So let's turn this off and let me run. You can see this oh no is printed, and instead of printing oh no, you can print you don't have your internet connection. Uh, Go fix it first, or show some other message. So that's how we use promises to make serial Ajax requests along with error handling. But there is one thing which you have not tackled yet, and that is how to make our HTTP requests more performant. That is by issuing them in parallel. We'll see that in the next video.